ecological landscaping workshop, come to the workshop, you're in the lottery. If we have more people than we have money to hand out, then there'll be a lottery of who gets picked to do it. Want to try to make it fair, it will be in the newspaper, so it'll be in the newspaper, if they come here, they come to the meeting, then they can be in the lottery if they want to sign up. What we find is that it's working, so usually, you probably like to get 20 or 25 people to put in these rain gardens. It's a demonstration that you can handle your stormwater on site without just having to go down the driveway and be the responsibility of the municipal government, which I think is the way that stormwater management is going, is that there's going to be more and more parcel-based infiltration where everyone is going to be responsible for not just ditching it out onto the street and making the town handle it. It's really one of the only ways that we are going to be able to comply with, as the standards get tougher and tougher and tougher, towns are going to start having stormwater utilities and forcing the parcels to handle their own stormwater. So that's where we're at. So I wanted to mention that two things. One, that if we approve the match and you approve it so that Greg can sign for the match on this grant, then that's excellent. If we cannot get it approved at town meeting, we lose the grant. There is no delay. We did send a letter to the DEP to see if there was any way we could delay it to October. And the answer was no. We got that answer in writing. So it's now or never. And I know you have a lot on your plate, but I would think it would be detrimental to future grant applications if they felt that we didn't have the support of the town when we did get awarded a grant. So on that, I will finish.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone have any questions?
What's an LID kiosk?
Low impact development. Things that are low impact development are like, forest pavement, rain gardens, burying your downspouts, green roofs are LID, low impact development, things that make a lower impact on the environment that you do in order to handle anything. Composting is a low impact development technique.
Like less water running off, less pollution.
Okay, and what you're proposing is to do something outside town hall, as a visual?
Yeah, part of some of the money in outreach and education is to purchase and fill a kiosk to be outside of planning, because we do want more LID things to be required in development and for developers to feel comfortable about. You might have noticed the posters that are out there now about how you should handle your construction sites. Those are things that we gave to the town to put up. So we want to keep promoting this kind of thing. I think that there's a lot being done elsewhere. There's certainly things being done here too, but it's something that we're passionate about as environmentalists. And I think that the DPW hears a lot about what's coming down the pipe from the EPA, and there's more and more stormwater controls that are coming out. They're going to be the responsibility of municipal government, and there's going to be a push to move that responsibility onto the private citizens and business owners. And whether it's in the form of a stormwater utility like Reading has, or whether you could get a credit on your stormwater utility if you handle it now. But the new developments have the detention ponds and things. They can't increase peak discharge, but the old developments, Peter Road and Shady Hill and all those were built with the old stormwater systems that simply collect the water and pipe it out to the river. And so there's no requirement to correct that. This 319 kind of fills the gap to try to help you correct some of the things that are already done.
Thank you.
Thank you. The EPA are going to head to something where they calculate for North Reading how many tons of crud we can put in the river, and this is a great tool to keep a proportion of that crud hitting in the river. There's also like 6 mandatory performance measures. This actually checks the block on 3 of this. There's public education, public involvement, and pollution elimination. This is a kind of 3.
So if I understand this correctly, we've been approved for the grant, subject to the match. Town meeting match. And it has to be in the amount, even though you get an in-kind for half of the 138, the article will have to match for the dollar amount of 138,000? How does that work?
I believe that Greg has to feel comfortable to sign the contract, like he did before. He signed the contract that said that, you know, the town is willing to, is committed to $138,000 in match, whether it be cash or
Okay.
in kind. And,
But you anticipate 50% of it will be in-kind?
right. And just to give you an example, the last time we had a grant like this, the last grant, our, I think our in-kind was $166,000, and town meeting approved $100,000. And Greg signed for the 166, you know, because we knew we were gonna have so much match involved, which has worked out fine. We're almost done with that grant, and we're up to, I think we're up to 90-something% of the match already with our in-kind services. And we gotta wrap it up, but there's still, $30,000 or $40,000 left of that 100 that we're gonna, you know, make sure everything gets buttoned up with. So it doesn't have to be exact, but I think that there's also, Dick had other, had the required stormwater management.
Yeah, North Reading is in very good shape for those 6 performance measures, except for one of them, which involves inventorying our outfalls, when the water goes into the river, actually inspecting them and documenting it. Documentation is the key part. We haven't done a great job of that. You know, we've done a lot of it, but I haven't put my hands on it yet. So part of them I am suggesting perhaps to put through, to perhaps help get that done. If you look back about 9 months ago, several communities in Essex and Middlesex County got whacked, $50,000 to $75,000 fines for not having that particular component done. CDPV, which I came from, was one of those. We did all the stuff, we just didn't document it. A nice little 3-ring binder that says, this is what we inspected, this is why we inspected it. So the suggestion I had in there was a higher dollar amount, but I wrote that several weeks ago. And now finding out what the Martin's Pond Group has done, really cut back on what I think the requirements are for the town to meet the minimum EPA requirements. That's, so rather than 2 projects that have the original price tag in the $300,000 range, $38,000, suggest we go back to maybe half that. So half the work roughly can be done in-kind, in-house, with volunteers, and half it might have to hire people from the outside, or
Right.
some of the material she talked about, we have to buy. We have to buy the stone, we have to buy the plants, we have to buy the catch basins. That's the summary of the stormwater, 2 stormwater.
Anyone have any further questions? No?
Yeah, I just think it's a good undertaking. I mean, obviously, it helps solve part of our problem, but we have to meet some mandates. And it's been something you've been working on for years, so I think it's a good idea. And as far as the school project, that's again something that needs to be addressed. I've spent a lot of winters going up there for basketball and things too, and slipping and sliding.
Yeah.
That door is brutal, right, yeah, I mean, so, the runoff needs to be controlled and contained, so we're gonna have to spend some money somewhere anyway, to solve some of these other problems. So if we can use grant monies to do it, all the better. I think it's money well spent, it's a good investment.
Likewise, I feel the same way. And thank you both for your time and your effort. Thank you.
No, all I have to do is find, what, 70,000?
Yeah, we'll do some digging. No commitments this evening, but we'll certainly do some
Yeah.
digging.
The only one I'm recommending is energy conservation. We had a very good start, and the program is going well, but the rebates we get from the Reading Electric Light, there's no mechanism to put it back into those projects. Right now, it has 2 options: go to the general fund, or perhaps be offset a bill, which Jeff, we didn't want to do that. So there's no mechanism right now to say take that grant, or the town meeting authorizes the town to take those reimbursements and just put it back in the kitty to do more projects. So some vote to that effect.
Yeah, we're gonna try to address that also at the next meeting that we have on that.
Yeah, just as background, they've done 100% 100%, town hall's done.
Yeah.
The next funded project is the Public Works Garage. I told John to wait until we got this all done, and there was no surprises in this building, on time, under budget. Went on to Public Works, complete that one, and they've identified several projects for the school. They have something that pays back less than 2 years.
9 months.
A pump with a widget. BFD and other buildings in the town, just simple lighting projects with a payback of 3 to 4 years.
So what are you looking for, some sort of a revolving account?
Yes.
Well, I'm not
To
sure the
accept
exact
the-
mechanism, but right now, we're in line to get in the order of 15,000.
I don't recall, we didn't have our meeting the other night. I was,
But there's no mechanism to put it somewhere to authorize that to go to a revolving fund or go to an appropriate mechanism to put it back into the, I think what the.
So these are rebates that come back from RMLD.
That's
There's
correct.
no place to put them other than
Right.
general fund
When
or.
they verify this building after a couple months of, look, our power drop has been, well, they're gonna say, here's the credit. And basically, they don't have to buy the demand somewhere else, so it saves them money, saves us money. So once they verify that, the credit comes back to the town in the form of, be cash, you can offset a bill. It's pretty flexible, but I think the intent was to put it towards more capital projects.
that's correct, that's correct.
Just whatever mechanisms does that.
The idea is to have it
The proposed
pay
warrant
for
article will
itself.
address that?
Yes, yeah, we'll work with council in terms of.
The idea is to keep, you know, that means less money we have to ask for from the town, because that money keeps coming in, so.
Well, it cuts both ways. I mean, if we have an energy savings, that it frees up cash for other expenditures. So
Yeah,
what we're
we-
talking about is
that's correct.
we're talking about whatever savings we have, not utilizing it anywhere else but for other energy conservation purposes. So, just, you know, as we, over the years, become more efficient at things, that's freed up money to continue, well, not just that, but continue the level of services that we currently enjoy in other departments.
Yes.
What we're doing now is we're suggesting taking those savings and putting them over here for more energy savings projects.
Yes.
Yes. Just so that we're clear that it
Well,
doesn't free it
but
up for,
initially, it's the
other general
it's the
operating
money from the
expenses.
RMLD that will come in.
I know, but
That we're looking to use to reinvest in the projects that we're working on. The money that you save from here.
Yeah, once we have a track record for operating budget purposes, probably next year I can say, oh, this building is 4% less, you know, the overall, because I think power for all public buildings unless the schools comes out of Public Works. So that line item, once we have a track record of how much actually dropped, could drop, you know, which leaves money to go to somewhere else in the operating budget.
If
Sure, Mr. Vito.
I'm not saying I'm opposed to anything I'm hearing, but it's the first time I've heard it. That all the savings was gonna go into a savings account for savings.
It was,
This is just the
no.
one-time rebate for the
The one-time
construction
rebate.
job. But all the savings will go to wherever you gentlemen
Yeah.
say you want to go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then I misheard.
Right,
I thought I had heard that all
Right,
the
no,
savings that were,
Just, RMLD will, has a program, we can gain about $50,000 in total, and that's our maximum capacity. It's that money that we get on the rebate program that we want to be able to turn in and utilize. Okay, what you save here, this goes back into the operating budget.
oh, okay.
Okay,
I'm
that-
glad I asked it. That's not the
Okay.
way I understood.
Okay.
okay, sounds good. You gonna talk about Route 62 culvert? Oh, Janet's here? You're not interested in that, are you?
I am.
Well, the one thing with that is, we're meeting with the town of Wilmington on Friday to start the process. There's a requirement to get the money. Currently, the state has said we can get $480,000. They would like us to have a memorandum of understanding with Wilmington to cover 3 things. Who owns it? Basically, the project is in Wilmington, but North Reading's doing it. So the agreement that North Reading has permission to go into another town and do something, number 1. Number 2, cost sharing. FEMA doesn't care where the money comes from. They're looking for something that says, okay, who's coming up with the match? And third one is actually the maintenance, and we already have a written agreement with them about the maintenance of the new, it's a standard thing with FEMA, who's gonna maintain this widget. This culvert is in Wilmington, but from what I understand, both communities maintain it as a as needed basis. What No, I know in a